This entitled woman has been receiving a service from their neighbor, who generously offered to mow their lawn at no charge. But when they tell them that their mower has broken down, you won't believe what crazy expectations they have. Happy birthday if today's your birthday, and on with the revamped show. This happened a number of years ago when I was still in college. My parents started a business out of state and moved, leaving me to take care of the house. I actually loved the responsibility of maintaining a house. Mowing the lawn was annoying, but the lawn wasn't so big, so I didn't mind. One day while mowing the lawn, my neighbor came outside. Middle-aged woman. Heavy smoker, single, like 8 cats, you know the type, and commented on how great my lawn looked. I did some cool stuff like made rings around the bases of the trees, cut the rest of the lawn on a diagonal so the lines looked cool, etc. I thanked her, but she proceeded to ask if I wouldn't mind doing her lawn. Some sob story about how another neighborhood kid was doing it for her but then stopped. She called him lazy and entitled, and how she would love for me to help her out just this one time so she could find another regular mower. I agreed since it would only be a one-time thing. Big mistake. From that day on, whenever I fired up my lawnmower, she came running out to beg me to do her lawn one last time. Happened maybe 6 times total before I got fed up. I'm generally a nice guy and don't like confrontation, but this had to stop. I decided to do my entire lawn with an edge trimmer one day, and sure enough, she comes running out, but was perplexed when she didn't see the mower. "What happened to your lawnmower? I was hoping you could help me out again with my lawn." "Sorry, mower broke down." It was a lie. "Looks like I have to do the whole yard with this from now on." "Wow, that sucks. Looks like you'll be working well into the night. Anyway, thanks again." She turns around to walk back inside and I yell out, "I'm sorry? Were you expecting me to do your lawn as well?" "No, sorry, but it's gonna take me a few hours to get my lawn done. Your lawn is a bit bigger, so there's no way I can do it too." "It won't be too much extra work. You're so used to doing my lawn by now. It won't be too much trouble for you to continue, right?" "Yes, it would. I've got plans tonight anyway." "But you've been doing it for weeks now. Why are you quitting on me? You don't want my lawn to be an eyesore in the community, do you?" "Again, I'm sorry, but that's not my concern. I told you my mower is broken. Plus you said it would be a one-time deal, so you will have to hire a new lawn service." "Hire service? You mean pay? What?" "I never pay for my lawn care. I'm on disability. The other neighbor kid was helping me out, but he wanted money too. Lazy and entitled is what he is. Has no one ever heard of respecting their elders?" She's maybe 40 or 45 years old, by the way. "I would be happy to do it if you paid me, but my back is killing me doing the yard with this edge trimmer. I'm sorry, but I can't help you out with your yard anymore." "Well, get your lawnmower fixed. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And you sound like the neighbor kid, asking to get paid. Not everything's about money, you know. Entitled brat," referring to the neighbor kid. "You can even buy a new mower. Get one of those ride-on mowers so you can get our lawns done in half the time." "Those cost thousands of dollars. I'm in college and working at a pizza place. I can't afford that." "Not my problem. I'm not the one making you work at a pizza place. Get your life together. Get a better job and make more money. That way you can afford to get a new mower." "What am I supposed to do now?" "Hire a lawn service." She glared at me after that last part, then stormed inside. Her lawn overgrew for a few weeks, until sure enough, one day, a lawn service came to mow her lawn. So she had the money to pay for lawn care, she just didn't want to. My parents sold the house within the year anyway, so I never saw her again. I was at Haneda Airport a week ago flying home after an amazing vacation in Japan. I'm always buying extra water for the flight because I get very thirsty and I wanted to use up the last of my yen coins. So I'm standing in line at a coffee shop / convenience store type place in the middle of the airport, past security, because it was the closest to my gate. I had 2 bottles of water in my hand, one for me and one for my friend, with the exact change ready. Ahead of me are 2 people. Front of the line is an Australian who gets water and a complicated coffee he was ordering in English that resulted in a lot of pointing and confusion. It took a few minutes, but the guy was apologizing and the staff were trying their best. Behind him and in front of me is a woman, the choosing beggar. Shorter and around middle age, who seemed very impatient, huffing and foot tapping as her flight was boarding. She looks at the price of the water, 150 yen, around $1 US, and whips around to me and exclaims, "How much is the water?" 150 what? I remember thinking to myself, you are in Japan. How do you not know what the currency is called? But I explain it's yen and ask her where she is from. I explain it would cost around $1. She seems happy about that and turns around after grabbing a bottle. She goes to the front of the line and puts the water on the counter, along with a $1 US note. The cashier looks puzzled and tries to explain that they don't take American money, only Japanese money. The choosing beggar immediately gets very impatient and angry and bangs the water bottle on the counter. "What? You don't take American?" The poor cashier tries to explain again that this is Japan and you can pay with Japanese currency only, or maybe a credit card. The choosing beggar explodes at the cashier at how ridiculous this is and how she is supposed to know what countries accept my money and which don't, and how dare she suggest a credit card for such a small purchase. Doesn't she know there is a charge for international purchases? Both cashiers are both at the register, now trying to get her to calm down and figure out what to do. The second cashier asks politely, "Do you have any Japanese money coins?" The choosing beggar keeps ranting about how awful it is they don't accept American money. She looks at the Australian guy who is waiting for his coffee, off to the side, and asks, "Don't you think this is ridiculous?" He ignores her and keeps texting on his phone. Then she whips around to me again and stares at me. I stare back. She indicates to my 2 bottles. "Are those both for you?" I know exactly where this is going, and I say these are for me and my friend for the flight. She demands that I pay for her bottle as well. She doesn't ask, she demands it. That would mean breaking my last 5,000 yen note, and I am not going to do that for a rude, ignorant woman who isn't smart enough to get local currency, then take out her temper on the poor cashier. I tell her, "I'm sorry, I only have exact change and I need this water for my flight." She looks back at the cashiers and then back to me and splutters, "Well, what do you expect me to do?" I shrug my shoulders and indicate to a water fountain on the wall a few meters down the way from where we are all standing. She looks back at the cashiers expectantly. Then when they do nothing, she snatches up her $1 bill and seethes, "Thanks for nothing," and storms off to the fountain. I don't understand her mentality. Who goes to another country and expects them to take a random country's money? It's just pure laziness on the lady's part. She probably likes the idea of going to a foreign country, but wants all the same conveniences of her own country. But that's just not gonna be reality. There are actually credit card plans you can go on that don't charge international fees. So if she'd just done a little bit of research, she could have actually gotten a credit card that actually wouldn't have that problem. Or at the very least, exchange some of her currency, just some, for the local currency. I'm a nursing student and am currently on my final rotation before I graduate. I also crochet. I bring my projects along with me as I get to my placement super early because I have to bus and it's the only time I can get there. And I'd rather do something with my time than spend it on my phone. I got this amazing, almost dark peacock themed yarn at the local dollar store and bought enough to make me a scarf, and was just enough for me to make the scarf to my preferred length, super long. When I leave the house for morning shift, it's often below 0, so I wear the jacket I made last year and my new scarf as I walk to the bus and then to work. This happened this morning, before handover. Handover starts at 06:45 and goes for 30 minutes on my ward. We have over 30 beds and all of them are full, and this requires time to hand over, especially in an acute ward. I got there at 5:30 because I'm a moron. I decided to have a nap because I was exhausted and then work on my beanie I'm working on to complete this look when my co-worker, the choosing beggar, walks in at about 06:15. "Oh my gosh, what an amazing scarf! Where did you get it?" I'm still groggy from my nap. "Oh, thanks. I made it." "Wow, it's so soft." They reach over to touch it before pulling it away from my neck as I was still wearing it. I'm slow in the mornings and it takes me a minute to process what has happened. I don't like people touching my projects, complete or not, without permission. Once whoever has paid for it has it, they can do what they like. But when it's in my possession, I am very protective as I put my heart and soul into every project. Sorry, but do you think I could have that back?" "What do you mean?" "Well, you didn't exactly ask to take it, and it is mine." Oh, I thought I could have it. You're kidding me. No, it's pretty and I want it. No offense, but I made it for me. I don't make myself things often, which is true. I try to do one project for me a year, and besides that, I tend to just make things for others, and the rare commission. And you know, I'd like to use it because it's mine. It doesn't look good on you. It looked amazing on me. I should keep it. I'd be happy to make you one for $35, although I might not be able to get the exact color I can find as a substitute. The yarn itself was $15, and I charge $5 for every hour. When it comes to simple things like scarves, it's repetitive and gets boring. No, I think I'll just keep this. She goes to put it in her locker, which only she has the key for. Then my facilitator walks in and asks Choosing Beggar about where she got the scarf from. Oh, that's gorgeous, CB. Where did you get it from? Oh, the student made it for me, didn't you, dear? Smiles brightly at me. I do not handle mornings well. The only time I will stand up for myself is when I've just finished night shift, or when I'm on morning shifts, as, generally speaking, my brain is yet to activate prior to handover, and I have no mouth filter. Actually, I made it for me. Can I please have it back now, rather than putting it in your locker? Choosing Beggar glares at me as she tosses it in my direction. Facilitator knows that I'm a bit touchy about my projects, and asks to feel it, and we spend 10 minutes or so talking about my latest projects, how I was finding the ward, etc. When the allocations are read out, I'm in the next room to CB, and I just make a vow not to discuss anything outside of anything nursing related, or to ask if she needed something like OBS to be completed, etc. Mornings are always hectic, so by the time we've done our first lot of OBS and the meds for 5 patients, me and my preceptor break up and start helping others, drifting. I forgot that the room next door was CB's room, and I walk into there to hear her complaining about me to a patient who I had yesterday, saying how I stole her property and how she doesn't trust me, and the patients shouldn't either. I clear my throat and she spins, goes red, then pale, then red again, as she snaps at me. What? I was just wondering if you needed OBS to be done. Maybe some meds I can do with my preceptor? Hygiene even? CB just smirks. Bed 12 needs a wash. You can do him. Bed 12 is a male that is always handed over as being nasty. However, I remind him of his daughter, and he is relatively nice to me. I agree and go to give him a wash. Bed 12 is known for being a difficult wash, and should really have 2 people assisting him, but CB told me that I have to do it on my own, because she was busy talking to the patients. And I was fine with that, as I did the same thing the day before when I forgot that he was technically a 2 assistant because of his behavior. I wasn't fussed that she told me to wash 12. I really enjoy doing the hygiene stuff with patients, not in a creepy way. Some of my more eye-joking moments or heart-to-heart talks with patients have happened when I was bathing them, and just knowing how I feel after work or after waking up and having a hot shower, I know that patients appreciate that feeling when they know they can't do it themselves. What I was fussed about was the fact that she ratted me out to my facilitator for washing a 2x assistant patient by myself. My facilitator pulled me aside and just gave me a gentle reprimand. I explained that I'd done it yesterday with no hassle, and that I knew I was fine today. I did not rat out CB, but I did agree that next time I'd ask for help, and thanked Facilitator for her feedback and concern that I may have put myself in harm's way. I went back into the Choosing Beggars room just before my meal break and asked if she had anything that she needed before we left for the 30-minute break. She asked me to assist bed 13 into her chair as she sorted her tray out for lunch. I really did like that scarf. You sure I can't have it? Look, I'd be more than happy to commission one for you, but that one is mine. Can I have one for free? I'm sorry, but I don't have the funds to really do that. And plus, I don't know you that well. The only things I make for free are for friends' birthdays, or if they desperately need something and I can provide. We're friends, right? I didn't answer that, and she followed up with, well, the patient speaks up. I think that perhaps the way you spoke about her and set her up to get into trouble shows that if you were friends, you wouldn't be a very good one. Choosing Beggar huffs and indicates that she wants to talk to me in private. What's up? Okay, look, I really need a scarf. Can you just make me one? otherwise I'll tell facilitator that you tried to give medication without a preceptor. It's an immediate expulsion. An immediate expulsion would occur if proof was found. Giving meds as a student unsupervised is a massive no-no. Knowing my facilitator knew that I wasn't the sort to do that, and that I was over precautious with anything to do with meds anyway, no, I can't. Listen, you're either going to make me a scarf and a blanket for me, otherwise I'm gonna tell facilitator that you gave bed 12 a Tarjan. It's a drug that's locked up that I have no access to. Knowing that my butt was in the clear regardless, as bed 12 didn't have any Tarjan written up, and that there was no way for me to even get into the dangerous drugs cupboard. What do you want? She was smirking, thinking she got her way. I want a king-sized blanket, gray and blue, made from 100% alpaca wool, and I want it by next week, which would have been impossible. And I want your scarf. Sure, you can have it. CB smirks. For $500. Side note for all those who think that's too much, I have a douchebag fee. But also I knew that the yarn she wanted for that size blanket would have been at least $350. I want it for free, otherwise you'll never be a nurse and you'll be thrown out of here for breaking your scope of practice. I shrug. Bed 12 doesn't have any Tarjan charter for him. He's not in for chronic pain. He doesn't even know what it is. Also, as a student, I don't have access to the dangerous drug cupboard or the room that it's stored in. I'm going for lunch. I've priced you your blanket and scarf. Get back to me when you have the funds. After lunch, I got pulled into the facilitator's office after a screaming choosing beggar told her that I had tried to overdose bed 12 on Tarjan because he was a jerk to me during the shower I gave him. Not only did bed 13 back me up and told facilitator what choosing beggar had told me when we were near her, she also told facilitator what choosing beggar said to me outside in the corridor, because she said it right outside 13's cupboard. And one of the cupboard doors were open. She heard every word. I'm excited to see my next shift to see what happened to CB. All I know is that she was asked to leave the ward post this shift. She was on for a double, and a pool nurse had to come and take over. My scarf went missing at lunch. I thought she took it, but as I was typing this story, I got a text from facilitator to say she has it because she was concerned CB would steal it, as apparently the ward has a history of things disappearing when she's on the shift, but no proof to say that it's her. In any case, I want to know if she's been terminated or suspended. We will see, I guess. So I won't read through the whole edit, but apparently an update from the original poster said that she ended up on a 6-month suspension. And as they are the only hospital in town, she threw a fit because the other hospitals are like 2 hours drive away. We'd like to think justice is always served like this. The terrifying thing is, if she lied about our hero and they were the one who got suspended, there's not much she could do. So it's always heartwarming when we read a story like this and we see that they get exactly what they deserve. She tried to kick someone else out and get them suspended, she gets suspended instead. Submit your story to be read on the channel at voiceyherestories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.